hundreds and thousands of examples. If people are not transforming their businesses time and time again, so you disappear. So Value Point, with a credible background, has nurtured lot of leaders and entrepreneurs, both from urban background as well as rural background. Our purpose is to create new jobs focused in rural India and especially empowering the women folks, creating leaders and entrepreneurs. In turn, they create lot of new jobs. Every single rupee that we have earned is reinvested in the companies to create group of companies to address the entire customers' requirements end to end in the digital technology world. So we are now a group of about 2,000 professionals spread in about 6 countries, having about 29 office locations worldwide, is heading towards closing about 400 crores of revenue in this financial year. There are people who have joined us about 11 years ago for a meager salary of 4 digit, and today they are heading the organization and they are the highest paid employees also in the system. We have empowered them to travel across the globe, meet the clients and elevate their performances at all levels. We have also helped state electricity boards to deploy and migrate to newer software applications, and we have touched about 800 plus locations in Karnataka to support these electricity board officers, and we have completely utilized this rural workforce. Why rural? See, if you see the stress levels that urban folks are going today, on an average we spend about 4 hours on the road here. Imagine the loss of productivity because of so much of pollution here, tiredness, sickness, lifestyle related disorders, and it's very competitive world. I cannot retain people just on salary. We need to engage them by creating lot of welfare activities, cultural activities, inspiring activities. So when I go to rural, I have plenty of advantages. One, we don't have to spend time on commute. I can give flexible hours for women especially, because about 80% of my workforce in rural are women. Can give them flexible hours to go back, feed their babies in the afternoon and come back and can work for stretched hours. Imagine there is no competition such that my workforce is poached by other people in the industry. We have very, very minimal threats of attrition here, and we are achieving close to zero attrition unless they get married and they go out of that village or town. So overall, I could experience in last so many years that the efficiency of the rural folks is 25% more than what we get in urban at much lower cost of overheads. So it meets all the ends for us. Our purpose is to go rural, empower women and create new jobs, and it is also beneficial for us to pass on those cost benefits back to our clients in US so that they will pump in more jobs to us and we keep creating more jobs in the rural India.
I resigned voluntarily and came back to India. For the last 35 years, my passion was to train 11th and 12th students of our state, including rural places, because the future of the country lies in future of 11th and 12th students, the teenagers, where they groom their careers. So my mentor Professor Srinivas ji, who happens to be our mentor of tutor pod also, who happens to be my personal mentor also. Together we have identified this area of training 11th and 12th students. That has been our passion. So what we thought was, it is very difficult nowadays to get the well-trained teacher across the country, especially no good teachers, very few good teachers are ready to reach rural part. At that time we met Mr. Shanbhag, the Value Point Group mentor, as well as Mr. Prabhakar Kini. In synchrony with them, in synergetic with them, we have a master plan to train the rural students, especially for their science students, for their entrance exam, because the entrance exam decides their career, their entry into professional colleges, engineering and medicine. So in this connection we have started. We have already trained, we have associated with Swami Vivekananda Youth Movement, who is a charity institute which is reaching village students, and even if they go to urban economically weaker students. So we are rendering services at various centers. VSAT, through VSAT we thought we can get the best of the best teachers at one place without making them to travel, as Mr. Shanbhag was telling, in the city, without wasting the time of the resourceful teachers in the city. Let them at one place, from the center place, teach across Karnataka, and future which has to be expanded across all surrounding states near Karnataka. So this we have been successful doing. Many of our students already have got admission into prestigious institutes. The students from village background totally go studying in the village.
I could give one example of a startup that we are planning now, is connecting farmers to wholesale buyers in the cities. Just to give an example, one of the largest buyers of grocery items is Mayas, Vasudev Vadigas. There are people like MTRs. So they normally end up buying from a trader community, and you know how traders, with due respect to them, keep good enough margins and pass on very less to the farmers or the growers. So we are now coming out with a concept of connecting these farmers directly with these wholesale buyers. I am not talking about they by selling it to Flipkarts or metros or somebody. I am talking about connecting farmers directly to these wholesale buyers. So imagine that the buyer also will get at lesser price, and even the seller also gets at higher price. So this is one kind of startup that we are in the advanced stage of collaborating with a small player in the rural area who is already establishing about 120 centers where farmers can walk in and trade their things. That is the philosophy so far in our group of companies. Sampath is my lifetime business partner. We are childhood friends, and we started Value Point together. And every penny that we have earned is reinvested in companies. We live very simple, humble lifestyle. We don't have flashy cars or big bungalows. So we are committed to this endeavor of creating jobs, going rural and empowering human folks. Value Point has declared, promised, committed to people that 10% of our earnings will go back to society through CSR activities. The CSR activity for us is focusing on education, health and hygiene, and one another thing I mentioned about incubating companies in rural areas. So we will put 10% of our profits into these activities.
I just heard like you telling like people are transferring from villages to the cities. So how important it is for them to stay back in the villages and improve there?
One is I have been mentioning that don't crowd cities. Okay, don't congest cities, because we don't have good infrastructure to manage the increase in population here. So I always preferred going back to villages, so that whatever you want to achieve here, you can achieve the same or more in your village itself because of the digital technologies, the information technologies now available. So if I have to work for a BPO company, I don't have to come to Bangalore and travel for 2 hours to Electronic City and then go back after work and tired and lifestyle disorders and this and that. Rather, I can create the job in a village because of internet connectivity is better now, infrastructure is better now. I don't have to really bring those jobs here. You can go back and do the same thing at your village or town.
As you said, the translation is being done by the people, like, as you know, nowadays technologies are so forward that you can translate always in your Google or something. So how could you say that, how to follow that back again, going to the people and translating some languages?
Sure. So very interesting question and quite common also for me. See, for example, when I do translation from a machine, say Google, it does word to word translation. It doesn't actually take paragraph to paragraph or context to context or subject to subject. I always give this example of say WhatsApp. In WhatsApp, what you see on the screen, last seen. Okay, if I translate in Google, it translates as Antim Darshan, which gives a very horrible and awkward meaning, right? So imagine if I do such translation of a religious book or a company catalog or a technology's company's website, you know the impact of that. So human translation cannot be replaced by a machine translation. Like human voice cannot be 100% translated in text. Similarly, human translation cannot be converted into machine translation so easily. So we all live by context, subject. As long as that exists, I don't see any threat for human translation.
Tell me about ATM, the art, theatre and music, which you said about.
Yeah. So this is a product of a company called Edicoses, which is a marketplace for education system that we have created. Here, we are actually connecting lot of artists through our portal so that students of a village or from a town or a city, if he or she has to learn Hindustani music or a flute or something to do with art and theatre. So today, couple of things are available in schools, but not many. So a lot of parents struggle where to send kids, how to get them trained. So here we are bringing that community of artists and musicians and others in a forum through our portal so that I can book 1 hour slot with the musician, I can book 1 hour slot with the a dance artist or a master, and if there are more number of such people, those artists can come to school and train them. Now those kind of collaborative efforts are happening. Right now about 10 institutions are using this product from our portal, so that we are seeing the increment in number of students getting enrolled into these programs. Also it helps cultural exchange programs. Imagine this product is now going worldwide. So I can have countries to countries, cultural exchange programs enabled through this portal.
Okay. Tell me about the women who cross the rivers and go to the work, and tell me which is that village.
So this is a village called Padukere near Udupi, where a couple of young girls come from the neighboring villages, and the only ways and means to reach our office is they have to come in a small boat, a rowboat or a teppa, and they come and work for us, and they work in virtually for a Fortune 2 company based in US. So this is an amazing experience for us so far, and they go through a lot of hardship during the rainy season, but still they make up their mind to come here and work for us. Basically, I always, over a period of 25 years of entrepreneurship journey, I have realized my strength is identifying talent, connecting dots and make the things work. So when my focus is in rural places, and I have personally traveled and met a lot of people, encouraged a lot of young budding entrepreneurs or people who have talent, see what is that we can do together. So when it comes to creation of jobs, I I I just jump into those conversations. And one of my most successful initiatives, when I identified a person from a neighboring village, and he joined me for a very meager salary. His name is Rajesh Vallam, and today, after 11 years, he has been highest paid employee in the organization, and his aspiration was to go to US and buy his own house, buy his own car, and all that future that he dreamt about is fulfilled in our association.
How successful you feel for being, making you as a part in this and achieving your dream?
Yeah, I like to say that I'll be very proud to be at a Value Point group of company, because each and every talent what I have, they identified me and given me the opportunity. Even for not only me, the entire group employees who are working me, they always give the opportunity. The same trend came to me that I'll always give the opportunity to others to come up, which made me success, which with the same inspiration from my director Shanbhag, Sampath, Kamath, the entire team. Thank you.
After finishing my BTech from Suratkal and Masters and PhD from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, I was a bit goalless, honestly. So I met my mentor, Professor Srinivasji, who is just sitting there opposite. So he actually molded me, like what you want in life. And all. So then we identified my core strength was teaching, especially for 11th and 12th. Even those days while doing my PhD, I was training 11th and 12th students. So I told, this is my passion. Then he said, you dedicate your life to this, you will do something. However, you go to NASA to get some international exposure. So he actually counseled me for 9 months. Then I was a bit orthodox, not ready to leave country and all that kind. But then I took his advice properly, changed my life, went to NASA, successfully worked there for 4 years, got a couple of awards there, Special Achievement Award and a group award called George Low Award for Quality Excellence. But I had decided I would come back. So after 4 years, one fine day I voluntarily resigned and came back. And my mentor, Professor Srinivasji, and me have over last 32 years, we have guided more than 10 lakh students and about 5,000 teachers across the world, globe. Okay. So in this process, first when I returned, that was my passion. So when I resigned and again I joined institutes where I had this opportunity. So of late we met Mr. Shanbhag on Sampath, Value Point. Mr. Shanbhag synergetically, he agreed to help us, to build a new organization wherein we can reach students from village as well as economically weak students. So we started training from TutorPod platform.
How important do you feel that the students must stay back in the villages and improve themselves over there than coming here to the cities and making the places crowded one?
Yeah, definitely. See, I will speak from education perspective. Mr. Shanbhag has spoken from employment perspective. From education perspective, it is very costly for them to come and get the costly coaching for CET, IIT, JEE, AIPMTs, these kind of for the professional colleges. So it is very difficult for them to come because especially girls, they cannot come and stay. So we thought we have a satellite system from where and that is point 1. Point 2, there is a dearth of good teachers going to villages. So this problem can be solved. I thought to get the best of the best teachers at one place, have a studio and have a live interactive classes through VSAT or today internet speed is also pretty good. So through that we can reach village students in their own school or college, because there are teachers who are teaching 11th and 12th, but there are no expert teachers to train them in competitive exams, CET, JEE means, AIPMT, AIMS and JEE Advanced. So we have taken this as the mission, one of the mission, and train students. From then and there itself, they are comfortable with their parents, but they are able to dedicate their hours for study. We give them good material and we train them here with the best of the best teachers. And personally, Professor Srinivasji and me will sometime meet them also in their place, encourage them, and any problems we will solve that. That's how we have.
You teach only English or the other languages?
Actually, we teach science students, PCMB, physics, chemistry, maths, biology. For their entry, into professional college, engineering and medical. So we don't teach English as of now. We have restricted also for 11th and 12th, physics, chemistry, maths, biology, science students. So that they get the entry to the professional college in the merit base, rather than paying a huge sum for management fees.